Hey guys, Trucker Chris here. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about what got me into driving trucks and how training was specifically at C.R England. And yeah, we're going to go a little in depth into it. I actually recorded this whole video to realize I did it in the complete wrong format. And so now I know not to ramble on for an hour and a half, which was the original length of the video. But guys, I want to give y'all a shout out, seriously. 35 subscribers. Holy crap. I know that's not a lot, but I have 35 people wanting to come back and watch my videos. Dude, that means so much to me. It really, really does. Like, I called my partner up today. I was like, babe, dude, I've got 35 subscribers. I was so excited. And she's like, congrats, man. Like, holy crap. Like, she was happy for me. She knows how much I love doing this. She knows how much it means to me to do this. Because I'm not doing this for money or anything, dude. I'm doing this because I love it. I'm doing it because I could express myself. I could be myself. And to me, that means a lot. And the fact that 35 people want to watch me do this, dude, that means even more to me. Guys, y'all are awesome. Seriously, thank you so much. But enough rambling about that. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, so what got me into truck driving? I really don't know, to be honest with you. Ever since I was knee-high to grasshoppers, something I always wanted to do. Like, I would play with like steering wheel cover, like I was driving an 18-wheeler, you know, stuff like that. And really, nobody in my family was a truck driver, with the exception of my grandpa, and he only drove cement trucks and dump trucks, and that was way before I was born. You know, you're talking 60s and 70s. And my grandpa was born, he's gonna kill me if I get this wrong, the 20s or 30s, I believe. I know he was way back in the yonder times. Both my parents are boomers. Both my parents were born during the baby boom. My dad was 57 and my mom was 62, I believe. The years, not their age. My mom would kill me if I said she was 62. But yeah, I don't know what got me into it. I really don't. It was just something I always wanted to do. And so yeah, let's get into it a little bit more. So when I was 21, 22, I decided to start looking up companies to figure out where I could go work at to get my CDL training. It was a pretty rough patch in my life, actually. My dad had just passed away from liver cancer, and so it was a pretty rough time for me. But right before my dad had passed away, when he was still able to talk before he lost all cognitive function, he told me to follow my dreams, and my dream was always be a trucker. And so that's what I did. I started looking up places, and you know, CRST, Swift, Schneider, and ended up landing on C.R England. And so the way that it worked is I called them up, you know, this is my name, so-and-so, I want to be a truck driver, you know, which, easy as it could be. They really made it simple and easy. And of course, talking to a recruiter, they're going to tell you anything to get you in the door. No different than what I told y'all in the training video. They're going to tell you anything to get you in that door. They're making money off you, and that's all they care about, which really sucks, because to them, you're nothing but a commodity. You're nothing but a paycheck to them. But got all my information sorted out, and they tell me, all right, you're going to be doing training Cedar Hill, which made things a lot easier because Cedar Hill was only 3.5 hours from my house. And give a bus ticket. Cool. All right. So my mom drops me off at the Greyhound bus yard, and somehow a 3.5 hour ride turns into a 6 to 8 hour ride. I can't remember the exact length, but it was a long bus ride to go from Austin to Cedar Hill. Man, that was the longest ride ever. I get down to Cedar Hill, and I get to the hotel, and the hotel I'm staying at is a joke. Some of you guys who travel up 35E in the Metroplex, just outside of Waxahachie, you're probably going to know what hotel I'm talking about. Used to be called the Executive Inn. It is now, the big sign now says $199 weekly, and that ought to tell you something about that hotel. Great hotel, excellent. You know, might as well call it the sleaze bag inn, to be honest with you. C.R England worked with the Executive Inn, and then there was another hotel across the highway, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was also owned by them. They said that they owned both hotels. I wouldn't be surprised if they did with the way these hotels were ran. But I get there and I'm told, hey, you're going to shack up with another driver. And I was like, all right, I guess, I ain't got much of a choice because I can't afford to buy my own room. So, all right, whatever. So I shack up with this guy, and he's an older dude. I mean, probably 50 years old. This guy sounded like a freaking Jake break all night long, just all night. Oh my God, it drove me crazy. So the next morning I get up, I get on the bus, and I get to my training. And get down there, and we do classroom work. And technically before the classroom work, they make you do your physical and your drug test. And so that's where, back then, I should have noticed the signs, but nowadays I'd have been like, oh, hell no, I'm gone. I'm out. Peace out, homie. The doctor who was doing the physicals was a joke. I mean, realistically, he's probably a doctor who was really close to losing his medical license because he was a joke. He was a chiropractor who really had no right to be in that position of doing physicals. He was plainly a jerk, just yell at you about any situation. And he was employed by C.R England as well. And so when I did the physical there, it was nothing like what you do nowadays. They have like an exercise bar that you got to pull up on, and it measures the pulling capacity you have. They say it's lifting capacity, but you don't lift like this. You lift like this, but they have you pull up like this. And so I was like, all right, whatever. So I pull, and he screams at me, "You're pulling too hard." I was like, all right, my bad. Like, all right, how do you want me to pull? You need to pull softly. I was like, all right. So I start pulling softly, and so then he goes, "You're too weak." I was like, bro, you tell me to pull hard and pull soft. Like, what does he want? You want me to go hard or go soft? Like, seriously, make up your freaking mind, dude. So we get through that, and that was my first run-in with the next part. Neck size. Some of y'all bigger fellers know what I'm talking about with this, and I hate the freaking neck thing. And it's not a dog on C.R England in this part, because almost every place I've gone to does it. Your neck's too big, you might have sleep apnea. I've done the test so many times, dude. I don't have freaking sleep apnea. I snore because of my allergies. Every test that I've done, I pass. They even tell me, you have horrendous allergies, but your blood oxygen level never drops. You don't stop breathing. You don't wake up. You just snore like a freight train because you can't breathe. Well, yeah, my nose is stuffed up because I live in Texas, bro. I live around cedar trees. What do you expect? So, I get my physical, pass my drug test, and going to do classroom work. And this is where I should have noticed a lot of things. Like, nowadays, I'd have been like, oh, hell no. Back then, it was just naive little Chris, just little Chris, super excited to get a CDL, super excited to become a truck driver. We're in there, and it's no different than being in elementary school or middle school, where I'm sure some of y'all have kids, or some of y'all are recent graduates, like, decade or maybe a little further back than a decade. Some of y'all understand that they don't teach you like they used to anymore. They teach you for the standardized test, and that's all they do. That's exactly how the classroom work was, which in a sense is good, because that's all you really need to know is how to pass your 5 basic tests, and that's it. So when I did my classroom work, it was basically you're reading the paperwork, you're getting pop quizzes, all this stuff. And what really sucked about the training part was no meals were provided during all this. So most of the time you're going without food if you ain't got money. And luckily my mom had sent me some money, and because I have no money, bro. Like, I had lost my job 2 months before, and I was delivering pizzas at the time when I lost my job. So it wasn't a great job to begin with. And she'd sent me, you know, a couple $100 to help me get by. And the only source of food that we had was a roach coach that would come by. And you're talking about a guy who'd pull me, you know, hola, welcome. Like, oh, yay. Let me get a booger with my burger, you know? So, I know, it's really gross. Sorry, guys. So that would be our only source of lunch. And luckily, I met some really cool guys there. I actually met 3 guys there that I'm still good friends with nowadays. We all kind of clicked together. And we would end up just going out to eat with each other. And we would go to, like, buffets, stuff like that. Which, I mean, if you're a truck driver, you know a buffet hits hard, bro. Like, yeah, hell yeah. The only reason it didn't affect me back then is because I did a lot of walking. The laundromat was 2 miles away. The nearest gas station was 2 miles away. And I needed my smokes at times. So, you know, I'm gonna walk to go get them, you know. So during the whole classroom work, it like I said, it's just a repetitive cycle of, you know, this, over, just drilling it into your head. That way, when you go to do the written test, you pass it. Well, yours truly took 3 times to pass test. The first time I passed my general knowledge, my pre-trip, and my combination. I failed air brake, and I forget what the other one is. To be honest with you, it could have been 4 tests and I failed 2. I really can't remember how many tests it was back then. I'm sure some of y'all know it really well now. But I went back, retested, passed air brake. Went back, retested again, and I passed the other one. And I just, for the life of me, I can't remember what the other one was. But it took 3 times for me to pass, which they weren't mad about. But the way that they had told me was, if you don't pass it the 3rd time, we're going to send you home. You know, I mean, we're not going to work with you. You can't pass the general knowledge test, which I don't blame them on that part. If you can't pass a general knowledge test after a 3rd time, you really don't need to be working there. So, after I get my permit, I'm almost a CDL driver. You get paired with a trainer on site who's training 4 to 5 people at a time. And you're sitting in a truck, and they retrofit, like the way the sleeper bunk is, they retrofit it with a couch style seat back here. And if any of y'all driven like Volvos, anything like that, you know exactly what I'm talking about, how they fold up to a couch, stuff like that. They retrofit into that, and 3 are sitting in the back and 1's driving. Trainer's over here. And while you're doing that, you're kind of like looking over, like, how's he doing? You know, kind of like cheating off a test to realize, why am I looking at him? He doesn't know what he's doing. How do I know? You know? And so during that whole thing, the on-site trainer, he was nuts, bro. He would fly off the handle at any little inconvenience or mess up that you had. Nobody learns by brute force, ever. Nobody learns by being yelled at, ever. I mean, realistically, if you're doing something wrong, coming and screaming in my ear to do it right, and I'm still trying to do it right, which I think I'm doing it right in my head, and you're screaming in my ear that I'm doing it wrong, isn't going to make me do it right. It's going to make me do it faster, hoping you stop screaming at me. Which is exactly what all of us were doing. And he was screaming us over the, like, smallest thing. You're not backing up fast enough. Backing up too slow. What are you doing, you know? And yeah, it sucked. So I was like, you know what? I want to get a different trainer. So I went into the office and said, hey, can I get another trainer? Yeah, no problem. We'll pair you with so-and-so. This guy was a joke. He regularly came to work drunk off his butt. He had, I think at the time, 5 DUIs. And, yeah. If he still had a CDL, I'd be surprised, to be honest with you. Which, I don't know how he was training, because you have to have a CDL to train permit drivers. That's a requirement. No different than being in a car. You have to have a regular Class C driver's license to train a permitted driver, and you got to be over a certain age. But yeah, I don't understand how the hell he was doing it. But it got to the point where riding with him, he'd be in the passenger seat and he'd be like, all right, you know what? I got to get out of this truck. I'll go back to Mr. Scream at you, just because at least I know I'm going to get somewhat of a decent amount of training from him. And literally, this whole training that they're doing here is to help you pass the driving test at the DMV. So this guy is just screaming and yelling about every little thing. You know, you barely tap the white line. It's not, hey, you know, Chris, get off the white line. It's, what are you doing? You're going on the white line. You're going to fail the test. What the hell is your problem? Get out of the seat. And you're like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what the hell? So it scares you. It really, really does. Because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, come on, bro, chill out, you know? And so I dealt with that for about 2 weeks or so, and finally was able to do my driving test. And this is where the fun begins, man. It really is. They gave us warnings that if you have this person, you're gonna fail. She's a raging bee. Or if you have this person, you're gonna pass. He sleeps all the time. And you know, I thought it was all BS. You know, like, yeah, sure. An exam proctor sleeps. They weren't kidding, because I got the one that sleeps. He tells me when we get in the truck, I need you to do a static air brake test, and I need you to do I forget what the actual test is for the valves pop. It's been a long time since I've had to think of these actual names. I still do the test, but you know, it's been years since I've had to think of the names. But I do that. He goes, all right, you're good to go. Get on the road. So I get on the road, and I'm expecting to hear straight, left, right. And I look over, and well, Mr. Sleepyhead's already asleep after being on the road for like 2 minutes. So at this point, I'm confident this guy's got narcolepsy. Hey, wake up. So he wakes up. Oh, yeah, sorry. Turn right here. Okay, so I turn right. He goes, all right, we're going to do the backing test. Cool. So I start backing up. And I'm backing up, and I'm waiting for him to say stop, because that's what he said. And I'm backing up, and I'm backing up, and I'm backing up. And I look over again, and I'm going, homie's asleep again, dude. Holy hell. So I was like, hey, wake up. And he wakes up, goes, oh, yeah. Go ahead, stop. You're good. Cool. All right, parallel park. I do that. I'm miserable parallel parking at that point in my career. I sucked at it. I'm great at it now, but I was horrible at it at the time. He basically just looked down and was like, you're good, keep going. So I get down the road, and you know, it takes you up 87, back down to 87, and you're doing the upshift, downshift, all that stuff. And I had a few moments where I sounded like a grumpy bear with those gears, you know, just, and well, guess what? Your boy, he passed with a flying 71. Yeah. So I got a 71 on the test, which still means I passed, you know. Woo. Proud moment. I'm fairly sure I would pass that test with at least a 90 now at this point. A decade of driving really does help you learn how to do it properly. But once I get my CDL, they tell you, all right, go back to the hotel, wait for a phone call. So I go back to the hotel, and after like 3 or 4 days, I get a phone call. Hey, you're going to be the trainer. He's based out of Anaheim, California. All right, cool, man. That's my old stomping grounds. I used to live in Riverside. Anaheim and Riverside ain't that far apart. You know, and I'm saying this like, you know, like I was, you know, 20 years old, and, you know, going back over there, you know, hey, what's up, homie? Hey, man, yeah, you know. I get out there, and the hotel that they put me in while waiting for my trainer, my phase 1 trainer, is a joke. And I thought that they were going to fly us out there. No. We took a Greyhound from Dallas to Anaheim. That was the longest bus ride I've ever been in my life. It's like 29 or 30 plus hours. It was a long ride. And mind you, I got lucky because I was with a couple of guys who were also coming down there that I did training with, and I was pretty chill with these guys. You know, one of them was pretty laid back. The other one was just kind of one of those that, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, dazzle them with BS, and he would dazzle you with BS, thinking that you believed it, and you're just kind of like, oh, sure. You know, some of the stories he would tell you, like, you know, Wikipedia does exist, and I do have Google, you know. Never mind that part. But so we get to Anaheim. They put me in a hotel, and I'm staying in a hotel in the middle of the hood. And when I say hood, I mean hood. And what's amazing is this hotel is beautiful. It's an immaculate hotel. It's a Comfort Inn, which their Comfort Inns usually aren't the world's best, but this hotel was beautiful. Probably one of the best hotels I've been in a long time. Beautiful hotel, got beautiful scenery. It's just beautiful landscaping. Like, I love the hotel. And of course, they're double bunking us again, which at least the rooms are big this time, and we didn't have to choose between a telephone or a TV. So that's a positive on that one. If you don't know what I mean, that I talked about that in my training video as well. Basically, the $1 or $1.99 weekly hotel gave me an option between a telephone and a TV, and I chose TV. But anyway, I get down there, and the hotel isn't owned by C.R England, but C.R England has a major stake in the hotel, and you could tell just by the hotel manager. He is a raging douche, like raging. If you do anything wrong, he flips on you completely. And so the guy they put me in the hotel room with, he is in there because he had an injury. He broke his elbow. And so I'm with this guy. And not only did he have a broken elbow, I'm pretty sure the guy had schizophrenia or something, because we'd be sitting there talking and everything would be cool. We'd be watching TV, whatever. And I'll say, "What'd you say to me? You want to go?" And I'm like, what, bro? Like, what are you talking about, man? No, I unless we're going to McDonald's, I don't want to go, homie. Like, I don't want to fight, Eat. Let's go get a Happy Meal, man. I'd rather be happy than fight, homie. Like, geez, chill out. Well, after about 4 days of dealing with him, I finally get told who my trainer is going to be. Well, my trainer at the time is in El Paso, and they tell me he'll be back in a couple of days. He'll come pick you up. Cool, works. So I finally meet my trainer, and he's a pretty cool guy. Like, would I consider him a friend? No, by no means. Maybe a work colleague, but that's a stretch. But for who he was cool. He did teach me quite a bit, but the way that I was taught was ridiculous. So it's where it gets a little wild. When he came to pick me up, I didn't sleep very well the night before because I was so nervous about getting in the truck. I really was. I was like, dude, I'm actually going to be on the road, be around people. Like, it's awesome but scary. Like, I'm actually going to be driving an 80,000-pound vehicle fully loaded with stuff to go places, And so he shows up. I get in the truck. He goes, "All right, man, how you doing?" "Good. You get any sleep?" "A little tired, but, I think I can make it." He goes, "Okay, cool. Well, driver's seat's yours. I'm going to bed. Directions are on the GPS. Have at it." What? Like, what do you mean? Like, he goes, No, you're good. Do it. You got your CDL. You know how to drive." "No, I don't." Like, I didn't even claim to be like, "Hey, I know everything. I got my CDL." Like, I was straight up with the dude when I got in the truck. Like, "Look, man, I'm nervous. I don't know what I'm doing. Really happy I'm with you. That way, at least I know what to do." And yeah, well, that worked. So that's where the ridiculousness really starts. Their training in phase 1 realistically needs to be like any other company where, and I'm sure other companies do it the way they did it. Your trainer should be in the passenger seat at all times while you're driving that truck in phase 1. There should not be a team driving effort between the two of you in phase 1 training whatsoever. Their job in phase 1 is to watch over you constantly and make sure you're doing the job correctly, and to correct you when you're not doing it correctly. Downshifting, upshifting, speeding, the turns. Because, you understand you're in a big vehicle, but, you're in California, in LA. You don't know exactly how to do the turn properly. The streets are tight out there. And nowadays, I could drive through pretty much anywhere. Like, I've been to New York, New Jersey, DC. Man, I go to California all the time now. I love California because, it's not because I love going to California. It's because if Creek takes me to California, that's 1,600 miles there, and they got to get me 1,600 miles back home at least. So at least I know I'm getting a decent sized paycheck if I do a trip to Cali. So back then, I didn't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to downshift. I don't know how to go up and down mountains, nothing, And luckily, during our team training, our first week of trips was going from Anaheim to El Paso. That was it, back and forth. And we were on a big W dedicated, and I'm sure some of y'all know what I mean when I say W. I'm not going to say their whole name because I don't want to get copyrighted or anything like that. Everybody shops there. Let's just say that. So it was literally Anaheim, El Paso, Anaheim, El Paso, back and forth. Go up there loaded, come back empty. Loaded, empty. And if y'all have been up and down Interstate 10, you know how bad the wind can get on I-10. And when you're a new driver, you have no clue how to drive in wind like that. And we're talking Santa Ana winds, 40, 50 mile an hour winds. And trainers back there sound asleep while I'm over here white knuckling, just scared, getting blown around, and you're seeing dust devils everywhere, and you look like a drunk man driving this truck. You don't know, do I need to hold the wheel this way? Do I need to hold it that way? Like, what do I do? And so with all that, it was like, what the hell? So we finally get a load going out to Northern California. And if y'all know anything about going to Northern California, you know you have to do the Grapevine on Interstate 5. And nowadays, I laugh at the fact that I was scared at the Grapevine. It's an easy mountain. It's one of the easiest mountain passes to do. It really is. It's not a high mountain. It's not the steepest grade you'll ever do in your trucking career ever. But when you're fresh out of driving school, to you, that mountain might as well be Mount Everest. It really, really is. Because you don't know what you're doing pulling up the mountain. Like, I had a hard time downshifting pulling up. I was pulling up that mountain at 10 miles an hour, which to me was great. Because it's like riding the Iron Rattler at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. You're going up it really, 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 really slow. So you're anticipating the downhill, but you're happy that it's not here at that moment. But when it gets there, you're terrified. And my problem was I had no clue how to downshift going downhill. And I didn't know how to properly use the Jake brake. I didn't know how to downshift. I didn't know what speeds I should be going, any of that. And I finally yelled. I was like, hey, come up here. I need your help. No, you got this. You're good. No. Hey, come up here. I need your help. No, you got this. You're good. No, I don't got this. Get your ass up here. And so he comes up there grumpily. I'm trying to sleep. I got to drive tonight. Cool, bro. Cool story. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm getting ready to go down a freaking mountain. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And instead of saying anything, he just falls asleep in the passenger seat. And so finally I smack him. I'm like, bro, get up. I need your help. As I'm already coming down this mountain at 65 miles an hour, burning my brakes up. And that's when he goes, whoa, you're going way too fast. Oh, no joke, bro. Like, of course I'm going way too fast. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm smoking my brakes up. At the time we had a CB, and I could hear people yelling on the CB, hey, England, you're burning your brakes. You're going to catch on fire. Well, finally he tells me, turn the Jake brake on. Do this, do that. Downshift. Stab brake. Brake as hard as you can momentarily. Let your brakes cool down. Brake hard, cool down. Brake hard. And that's where I was like, finally, you're being a freaking trainer. That's what I needed this whole freaking time, bro. Like, holy crap. Well, he gets mad at the fact that he had to talk me how to drive a truck. Like, how to talk me through it. I'm like, bro, that's your job. That's what you get paid to do. Does a teacher get mad that they have to teach kids how to read in first grade? I'm like, no, that's their job. Sorry, if you don't like it, don't do it then. Don't be a jackwagon, Well, finally, after like a month and a half of dealing with this guy, I move on to phase 2. And the pay structure on phase 2 is completely different than phase 1. And when I was at C.R England, once again, a decade plus ago, phase 1 training was $250 a week. $250 a week. And we were working 6-7 days a week. We were using up all our 70 hours every week. Yeah, the pay was bull. It really, really was. Barely scraping by. I mean, if you think about it, that's $1,000 a month. There's some people that make that now that can't even make a buy, and $1,000 is nothing. It really isn't. Especially when you don't have a microwave, refrigerator like I've got in my truck or anything. You're literally eating out every day. And that was my thing. Like, it would be breakfast, lunch, and dinner, fast food every day, which, I mean, I went from 285 pounds when I started to over 350 pounds, because it was literally fast food every single day. Well, finally, after being with him for a month and a half, I get told, all right, you passed, you're good. We're going to send you to phase 2. Cool. I get put back up in the hotel. And for a while, I had the room to myself. Then guess what? Mr. Schizophrenic, broken elbow, becomes my roommate again. I was like, bro, like, I've been gone for a month and a half. What are you still doing here? Oh, well, they're talking about wanting to fire me. All right, cool. Like, whatever. So I spent most of my time outside smoking cigarettes and swimming in the pool, because I was like, I don't want to deal with this guy. After about 3 weeks of sitting in the hotel, mind you, you're not paid while you're sitting in the hotel. You're not paid in the hotel. You're not paid if the truck breaks down. Like, you're not paid for any of this stuff if you're not driving the truck. So I'm going broke. Like, my savings is gone. The money that my mom's been sending me is pretty much gone. My truck's up for repossession. Yeah, it got really bad there for a while. Well, phase 2 rolls around, and I finally get a call after about 2.5, 3 weeks. Hey, your trainer, he's going to come pick you up at the hotel. He'll be there tomorrow. Here's his number. Here's his name. And I'm not afraid to throw his name out there, because me and him are actually really good friends to this day. I actually went up to Prescott to go see him last year when I was driving a truck at a delivery in Prescott Valley. So I was really excited to see him. I called him up, man. He was ecstatic that we got to see each other. His name's Chris, man. He's cool as hell. He's a SoCal boy. And it makes me laugh, because to this day I'll call him up and, hey Chris, how's it going? Bro, what's going on, man? You know, that whole Cali crap. And man, he's such good people. He really is. But there was something I noticed about him. And what it was is that he didn't necessarily know how to drive himself. And that's not a dog at him whatsoever. What I mean by that was, they let him be a trainer with little training himself. And that's extremely dangerous. It really is. Because at least my phase 1 trainer had been driving for 15, 20 years, had been an owner operator. This guy had been driving 6 months, I think, at the time. Was originally with Warner, came over to C.R England, and he was working with an owner operator. He got a crap deal with his pay, dude. His pay was, he got the excess fuel surcharge from all the fueling up we did. And so basically whatever he got back in fuel surcharge went to him. And I mean, that's literally like a Ponzi scheme. And that whoever owned that truck was making a racket off this guy. So phase 2, you're getting paid 12 cents a mile, and we're both barely scraping by. And there's a place in Missouri called Boomtown, and we would both go half in on buying like 5 cartons each. And I didn't smoke what he smoked, which was Marlboros, because I don't like them. Didn't like them at the time. I liked Camels, but I was like, well, if we're going half in, they're the cheapest ones. They're like $3 a pack. Let's do it. So we did a lot of stuff like that. Like we worked together as a team, and we became really good friends with stuff like that. And so phase 2 is when you become a team. Technically, that's when team driving starts. And so at that point, we were both team drivers. I did nights, he did days. And so the way that it worked was, when he was sleeping, I was driving, vice versa. Really helped me out a lot, because we actually ended up becoming team drivers together at Celadon before they went out of business. We were actually team drivers for a little over a year together. And man, he's still, like I said, he's still a really close friend to me. If he could still drive to this day, man, I would team drive with him any day of the week. Unfortunately, some medical conditions caught up to him, you know. But like, so for example, when I say that he wasn't fully trained, what I mean is, we picked up a load out of Phoenix, and we get up to the dock, and he's trying his hardest to get in this dock. And mind you, it's not a tight dock, man. It's no tighter than a parking space at a truck stop. And so I'm watching him back up, and I'm like, what the hell, bro? Like, so finally I was like, hey, do you want me to do it for you? He goes, yeah, you know how to do it? Yeah, I got you. And I get in the dock first try. Mind you, all my phase 1 training was on a dedicated account where we were literally bumping docks and unloading by hand every bump we docked. So I was used to it, you know. It is what it is. I'm not going to dog somebody based on their skill level. I'm really not. We got to start somewhere. But if you're going to be a trainer, you have to know how to train. Like, let's be honest there. So we worked together for 2.5, no, not even 2.5, probably a month and a half to 2 months, somewhere around that. And we became really good friends. Like, I met his wife. We'd go out to eat with his wife all the time. His wife had, I can't remember if she owned a hotel or if she was best friends with a lady who owned a hotel. So anytime I went over there, she'd always put me up in a hotel room for free. And mind you, it wasn't a great hotel. It was, you know, the crap shack in, but still, you know, it's a free room out of the truck, which is definitely a plus. So, another little thing I gotta throw in there. I'm sorry about the rambling. The truck that we were driving didn't have AC. And the reason why is because the owner of the truck was too cheap to replace it. Mind you, we were in Phoenix in the middle of summer during a heat wave. And some of y'all might remember the 2013 summer in Phoenix. Oh my God, that was miserable. And we're talking an old Freightliner Century, the one that had the big sunroof right there, beating down on you, and you ain't got no AC. And the only cool air you get is the hot air that's blowing on you at 70 miles an hour, whatever it is. Yeah, that sucked, man. I felt like I was gonna die every freaking day. Well, we're on this load and we're heading to El Paso. Sorry, not El Paso, Laredo. And I get a phone call from corporate. Hey, Chris, it's so-and-so at the safety department. Hey, what's going on? So we can't verify your identity. What? Like, it's been almost 4 months. How are y'all just now figuring this out? Well, I guess we just overlooked stuff. We can't verify your identity. So until we can have that, you're fired. Oh, okay, I guess. Like, we're in the middle of a trip. Like, you're not going to make Chris drive this whole trip by himself. Like, we're barely scraping Anthony, New Mexico. So Chris calls safety and says, hey, look, I need him to help me drive. Otherwise, we're not going to get the load here on time. And once he said that he wasn't going to get the load there on time, they were, oh, yeah, we'll put him back in the system. No problem. Which back then I was like, oh, sweet, you know, they're helping me out. But nowadays, I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No trucking company who has just said that we can't verify your identity is going to say, yeah, keep driving, no problem. No. That's not the way it works. They're going to straight up say, sorry, dude, we'll call the shipper or the receiver and let him know you're going to be late. Like, we're not risking him having an accident. Get him out of the truck. He's not even covered under the insurance. That's what a trucking company is going to do. So that right there told me, all right, something's up. They don't like me. Something's wrong. I don't know what it is, whatever. So I get down to Laredo, and that's where I'm able to take time, and I called safety. I said, what do y'all need for me to prove my identity? Well, we need a paper from the Social Security office saying that you are who you are. Cool. So I go down to the Social Security office in Laredo. I wait for hours to see somebody. I tell him the whole story, and he's going, yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, you're an American citizen. Yep. Take this paper, send it to him, see if that helps. All right, cool. So I send him a new copy of my I-9, which I filled out another one, which I'd already done one before. I send him my driver's license again, Social Security card, birth certificate, and the paperwork from the Social Security office. No, we can't verify your identity. None of this proves that you're an American citizen. How does that not prove it? Like, I'm at the Social Security office. They gave me everything I need. I have my birth certificate. Like, do you want the home videos of me coming out of my mom's hoo-ha when I was born? Like, come on, dude. Seriously. Lady goes, oh, there's no reason for disgusting talk like that. Well, then what do y'all need? Like, what's going on, guys? Seriously. Well, we can't prove your identity, and since that's not going to happen, I guess you're in the best spot. So, what do you mean? I'm like 4 or 5 hours away from my house. I'm not in the best spot. Had I known that this was going to be a complete firing like this, I would have told him to drop me off in Austin. Well, seems like Laredo's the best spot since that's, you know, really close to your home. And I was like, what are you talking about, really close to my home? Like, once again, I live 5 hours from here. I live in Austin. No. We know where you really live, Mr. Moss. And finally I said, y'all saying I'm from Mexico? No, we would never say that. It's like, oh, y'all are some bitches, dude. So they terminate me over that. I still don't understand it. Then I'm sitting there like, I don't know what the hell to do. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm flabbergasted by this whole thing. You know, I don't understand any of it. So they call Chris and tell him, drop him off in Laredo. You're not going to give him a ride. And Chris goes, the hell, I'm not. I'm not an employee to you guys. I'm an independent contractor. Well, if you expect to have a job here, you better drop him off there. He goes, once again, I'm an independent contractor. So they go, well, we're going to contact the owner of the truck. Well, they call the owner of the truck. They go, if he wants to take him back, let him take it back. I don't care. And so they threw a fit about the fact that he gave me a ride back, which I'm so gracious to the fact that he did, because you didn't have to do that. Like, they didn't offer a bus ticket. They didn't offer a taxi. They didn't offer nothing to me to get back home. It was literally, good luck. Cool, thanks, dude. Like, you're awesome, jackasses, you know. So I get down there, back up to Austin, and he drops me off at a Wally World, not too far from my hometown. And luckily, my mom was able to come pick me up, thank God. And my mom had met him and just absolutely loved him, you know. And my whole family loves this guy. He's like a brother to me, you know. I mean, we're just that, we're tight, you know. When it comes down to it, he made my training there a lot easier, because it was miserable doing training there. Realizing a lot of the crap that went on, now that I've been in the game for a decade, if not more, I realize a lot of the crap that happened should have never happened. The way training happened there should have never happened like that. You should never be thrown into a situation that dangerous and be told, good luck. No. That's not the way it works, homie. You should really be taught how to properly drive these trucks. And that's unfortunately why there's so many accidents out here on the road nowadays. A lot of these guys aren't properly trained. And not only that, a lot of these guys that are training them only have 6 months experience in themselves, man. Like, they don't have enough experience to drive to train, you know. I think if you're going to be a trainer, you need to have at least 2 years of experience, solo, by yourself driving experience. You need to have been able to drive in over mountain passes, during winter conditions, stuff like that. Like, you need to have a plethora of experience. And, you know, being in the game as long as I've driven through Wyoming on I-80 during the winter time. And last winter, for example, I was white knuckling it. Do I enjoy driving in winter? No. But can I? Yes. Will I? Try not to. I won't throw chains, so if chain law's in effect, you'll see my fat butt sipping coffee to TA. I've done mountain passes. I've done the Cabbage Patch. I've done Donners. I've done Chumash Trail. I've done some crazy things in my career. But should a driver who's never driven before be thrown into it a week in to having a CDL with the trainer sleeping in the back? Hell no. Look up the I'll actually link it in the video, but there's a video, Donner Pass truck accident, and I'm sure some of y'all have seen it. You know, it's spread across widely. Basically what it was is, it was, you know, no different than my situation. Trainee had his CDL for a short amount of time. Trainer was asleep in the back where it should have been phase 1, trainer up here, trainee here. He had no clue what he's doing going down Donner Pass. Completely lost control, smoked his brakes, went off the mountain, killed both of them. And so, yeah, dude, like, hell no. That's not the way training works at all, you know? So, yeah. Would I suggest him? No, never. That's where in the video I'd posted a while back about, you know, CDL training companies. Even I said in that, I won't ever suggest them. They were a horrible company. They treat their employees like crap. They treat you like an expendable commodity, because, I mean, realistically you are. When it comes down to it, if you backtalk them, guess what? By the time you're done, they'll just go, cool, I'll have somebody else come in here and pay them $250 a week, or whatever they're paying now. I know it's not a livable wage still, but they'll, you know, like you'll see on the back of their trucks, not only do we have great pay, we have great miles. No, they don't, dude. They're full of it, bro. Like, you're not going to reach the potential 100,000 that they say you're going to get. That's not going to happen. Dude, I've been in here 10 years, and I've had 2 years where I've hit over $100,000. Most of the time, I'm sitting roughly 85, 90, most of the time. This year, oh, it's going to be short this year. Freight has dropped off big time this year. Oh yeah, it's a crappy year, you know. I'm now averaging like 15 to 2,200 miles a week, and unfortunately, it's the norm around the whole entire industry, especially in the dry van and reefer side. That's really the norm. Really sucks. I'm trying to stick through it, but man, it's getting difficult. I'll tell you that much. But that's besides the point. That being said, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm sorry about rambling on if I did. Yeah, needless to say, it was crap training. It really was. I won't ever suggest them. I would never. If I got called tomorrow saying, hey, look, we'll pay you $1 million a day to come drive for us, guess what? That $1 million a day will get me out of a lot of financial difficulty, but I think I'd rather suffer and starve to death than work for you guys ever again. So, but yeah, I would not suggest working there. And to user SZ4HY8OU3D, there's my video, buddy. Hope you enjoyed it. Guys, if y'all have any video suggestions at all, drop them in the comments. As you could tell, I do respond to them. I will make videos depending on what it is, you know. I'm not going to make videos about a lot of things, you know. I won't make a video about everything that's suggested, let's be honest, you know. There's a lot of things that go over in videos that I've already talked about in the past, and yeah. I also want to throw out an apology about the uploads. I know they dropped off. The past couple of weeks were they were actually fast paced for me, actually. I had a lot of loads, mainly short hauls that I was doing boom, doing 2-3 loads a day, doing 50, 100-mile runs, which ironically pay better right now than some of the other runs I'm getting, because I get short haul pay, you know, $70 on top of my mileage, so I won't complain. Yeah, it was pretty hectic to the point where by the time I was done, I was working my full 14. And as soon as I'd pull the truck over, man, I wouldn't even take my clothes off. I'd lay in bed in my jeans and just pass out, you know. So I do apologize about the uploads, but they will definitely be more frequent. And definitely, if y'all are suggesting more videos too, I will definitely do some more research on videos. And if y'all want to see anything, man, drop it. And I'll straight up tell you in the comments. I'll make a video about it. And if I feel like I've already discussed it before, or if I feel it's a topic that I'm not very versed at, I'll send you to a place that maybe knows more about it, or I'll just straight up say, hey, look, you know, I've already talked about this. Check out my other video. But I want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all are freaking awesome, guys. 35 subs. Thank you so much. I know it's not a lot, but it means a lot to me. It really does. It means that I've got 35 people who want to come back and watch my videos every time I post. Like, bro, it means so much to me. And when I got up this morning and I looked at my notification on YouTube Studios, I was like, dude, I got 35 subs. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, 35 people want to watch a fat trucker ramble on? Like, hell yeah, bro, that's awesome. And so I called my girlfriend. I was like, babe, dude, 35 people want to watch me make videos. And she was excited for me. She knows that I love doing this. I love being able to talk to you guys. I love being able to interact with you guys. So it means a lot that 35 of y'all are asking for videos. So guys, thank you so freaking much. Like, seriously, thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. It really does mean a lot. It really does. Do me a favor, guys. Give this video a like, comment, subscribe. Once again, I'm going to drop that link to the Donner video in the description, and then I also got some Amazon affiliate links in the description as well. Basically my CB and headset and my earpiece. That headset, $25 headset. I think it's got like a 15-20% off coupon. Best Bluetooth headset I've bought ever. I would compare it to a Blue Parrot all day. I'd actually say that's better than a Blue Parrot. I really would. I could stand next to my engine while it's doing a regen. Nobody could tell that I'm standing next to the engine. Best $25 I ever spent. Alright guys, with that being said, catch y'all in the next video. Peace.